All right, guys, welcome back. This is Eric here with Guitarsenal. Just toying around a little bit. Hopefully not making too many bad sounds there. Today we're going to be taking a look at a really cool piece of hardware. This is an early 90s 59 Fender Bassman reissue. Okay, these amps are pretty special. A lot of the early 90s Fenders are some really great amps. Okay, they reissued the Vibrolux. They reissued several other amps. The 59 Bassman was definitely one of those. And you know, I feel like Fender really got this amp right. Okay, the 59 Bassman is really where a lot of magical things in the guitar world started. This is an amp it's kind of known as being like the granddad of all modern amps, especially when you get into the Marshalls and stuff, you know. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but early on they were having a hard time getting Fender Bassmans over in England. And Jim Marshall decided, I'm going to build my own amps. And they used this circuit as a basis for that because it's just such a great circuit. And it's called the Bassman because it was originally a bass amplifier. But a lot of guitarists started plugging into them and figuring, man, these things are fantastic. The 4 10-inch speakers, there's Jensen bluebacks in this thing. Those 4 10-inch speakers really give you a nice, you know, tight low end, but you get a nice sparkly clean out of them, which is just fantastic. It's a 45-watt amplifier, 6L6 driven. They're fantastic amps, okay? But early guitarists would plug into them and they just grind, you know, had the grind to them, right? Now, of course, you know, Jim Marshall getting into the Marshall circuits greatly modified the Bassman circuit, right, and kind of took it to the next level. But the original 59 Bassman still holds a very special place in a lot of guitar players' hearts, and for a good reason. They're great amps. The Fenders are PCB construction, so they do use, you know, a turret board or whatever. But they're really not bad amps at all, right? These early ones are great. The circuits are wonderful. They can absolutely sing, especially with humbuckers. That's why I wanted to use this particular guitar for the intro there. I was pushing the front end with a Vertex Boost, added in with the Zen drive to get my drive sound, okay? I'm getting a little bit of reverb from a Strymon Flint and a little slapback delay from an Analog Man dual analog delay. This is a 1980 Ibanez Blazer with stock Super 70s pickups. Yeah, buddy. Okay, so these are exposed bobbins, Super 70s, so a pretty hot pickup here in this guitar. All right, so let's hear the naked signal of the amp. I am going to leave just a scotch of reverb going just for my sanity. This is straight amp, and I do have the tone roll back a good bit on this guitar, but I'll open it up so you can hear how much top end that we've got. I'm running into the normal channel, and I'm jumping the normal over to the bright, and I have both the bright and the normal on 4. And our mids are pushed up about halfway. Our treble's up a pretty good bit, and our low end is kept in check, maybe around 4. Okay, so the amp has a relatively sedate control face on it. You do have a presence control, which we have up to about 8, and you have a on and off and standby. Okay, so let's give this a listen. All right, that's me hitting it pretty hard. I'm going to turn that mix down just a scotch on the reverb there. All right, middle selection here. 2 Super 70s pickups. Everything all out. So, you know, we're going to play this with a Strat here in a second, because I know a lot of people probably want to hear a single coil through this amp, but with the humbuckers, it can certainly liven up. I find that the sound is pretty nice with the tone rollback, especially with a real bright guitar like this and such a high output pickup. Let's hit a couple of boost pedals and just hear you a couple of, let you hear a few drive sounds. We can get out of the 59 Bassman. For being such a simple amplifier, it's very diverse. It can get a wide variety of different sounds. We can actually get more top end than what we've got available here. All right, here's a Jhs Morning-Glory. This is a Gen 1 pedal, so kind of an early one. We got a little line noise there, not too bad. Let's give it a listen. Very nice sound there with the Morning-Glory. All right, we had the Zen drive going in the intro. I'll hit it without the boost. All right, let's give that a quick listen. I'm going to break out a lot of the tone on this guitar. See if we can get kind of woman her up just a bit here. Okay. Sorry if I'm a little sloppy. I'm just getting back into playing. We've been on a multi-week hiatus here. We're trying to get back into it, so bear with me. Okay. Very, very nice sound. I mean, these amps are very throaty, okay, a very mid-range focused sound. So I think one of the reasons that this amp sounds so fantastic for guitar frequencies is because an open back 410 cabinet and a 410 speaker configuration generally has a very scooped mid-range sort of sound. So when you combine that with a tweed style circuit that usually has a very mid-range focused sound, you're sort of not canceling out, but accentuating each other's frequencies, right? The cabinet is getting rid of some of those crazy mids that you hear when you hear a crank tweed amp has that very mid-range focused sound, which is fantastic. It may not necessarily be for everybody, so the Bassman can get a lot of different sounds in strides, which we don't have time to chase tones in today's video. I just dialed this thing in for what I felt would be a nice sound that I figure would be indicative of a Bassman. You can jump the inputs, so we do have it jumped and we're running into normal, but we could swap that if I wanted some more top end, and we could increase the treble pot, the treble volume side, the bright volume is what I'm trying to say, and then decrease the normal if we had a really dark sounding guitar and wanted to brighten it up. Now, if we got a bright sounding guitar, we can crank the normal, jump over to the bright, and then just bring that bright up a bit. And each side sort of introduces its own interesting gain characteristics. So this amp is extremely versatile, and the whole jumping of the channels is something that you can do with a Marshall as well. So you notice most Marshall plexis have the 4 inputs, and that's because it's very much like a Bassman in terms of the overall layout of the amplifier. All right, so let's give it a listen with the boost. All right, this is the Vertex Boost. Bit of reverb and slapback, but mostly pretty much just straight Bassman with the Vertex Boost. Let's give this a listen. Switch guitars. All right, that was the Zen Drive, and I hit the Morning-Glory before that. Let's just hit it with a clean boost on the neck pickup with the Strat. This is an American standard with custom shop Fat 50 single coil pickups and a factory rosewood neck on this guitar. These are Ernie Ball Paradigm 10s. The other guitar had 9 through 42 paradigms on it. Actually, I'm sorry, those are Stringjoy balanced tension strings, 9 through 40 is what we were running on the Blazer. All right. Sorry for the sloppy playing. I'm just waking up and getting going here today, so excuse the flubs. I'm just still playing around a little bit. Trying to give you an idea how this Bassman sounds. Strat, humbucker gives you an idea. They're fantastic amplifiers, absolutely fantastic. I could noodle on these things all day long. I think you guys get the idea. Let's hit the boost. I'll leave slapback on and a little bit of reverb, and we'll leave the drives off and just see if we can get some sort of pretty sounds out of this thing a little bit here. I like to run my super reverb with this exact setup. I would have no problem backlining this amp over a super if I had to. Now, I will say this, it's very loud. We've got the volumes on 4, and it certainly is loud, okay, even on 4. I'll tell you what, I'll play a few lines with it as we have it set up here, and then I'm going to reach over and we're going to crank it up a little bit more for the Strat. Since it's got the lower output pickups over the Blazer, we will crank this thing up just a little bit, okay? So give me a second here, we'll play a few lines and try to have some fun here, okay? Hopefully the playing's not too bad. I'm trying not to flub too bad, guys. I'm a little rusty. I haven't been playing much, but I hope you guys get an idea of the kind of tones we can chase. I'm going to make a little racket here on the way out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really, really appreciate it. I know that we haven't posted a lot on the channel here in the last few weeks. We've been very, very busy, and I apologize for the lack of content, but I promise we have some great videos on the way that I know you're going to love, including some concert footage and things like that. I sat in with the Breeze Kings not too long ago up at Northside. Great local blues band here in Atlanta. Great bunch of guys. Carlos, you guys are amazing. Thank you for taking care of me and showing me a great time. It was such a wonderful time, and I hope to sit in with them again soon. All right, so make a little bit of noise. All right, now you couldn't take this Fender Bassman into a small club and turn it up this loud, but we're going to do it here because nobody's going to tell me I can't.